Hello everybody, Maker of Loaf Homestead here. Today we are back in the kitchen. I've been promising that I was going to show y'all how to make my Amish white bread. Well, today is the day. So I already have my yeast over here, bubbling, getting ready, whatever. I want to talk about some of the ingredients on here that you're going to need. So you're going to need 2 cups of warm water, 2/3 cup of white sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of dry active yeast, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 6 cups of bread flour. I use regular flour. I do have bread flour. I haven't tried it with bread flour yet, but I just do use regular flour. So you're going to gather all of your ingredients. I have all my stuff here. You're actually going to let this sit and proof for about 10 minutes. I'm going to do mine probably about 10 or 15 because my house is kind of cooler. It's not real warm. This is not a sourdough bread. This is just a regular Amish white bread with your, I got fast active rising yeast. That's what we're going to go with. And it comes out really great. I really like this bread. I've searched and searched so many times that I could never find a bread that I liked, and I finally found a recipe that was good for me. It's easy to make. It doesn't take long. I actually sell some of this at my job. They like it. It lasts longer than regular bread. I can leave this on the counter, covered in my bag that I put it in, and I can leave it on the counter for 4 or 5 days, and it's perfectly fine. I froze one. I made some last week or the week before. I froze it because I had too much. So I pulled it out and I let it unthaw, and it still tasted the same. Now granted, it was a little bit crumbly because it's been in the freezer, but it wasn't really bad. I made garlic bread with it. We made sandwiches with it, still like that. So right now we're going to let this proof, and then whenever that 15 minutes is up, I'm going to bring y'all back, and then we'll get into putting all the ingredients together, guys. Okay guys, we're back. It's been the 10-minute mark. Mine's a little bit over. I did about 12 or 13 minutes for my yeast to sit there and bubble and ferment and do what it needs to. Now we're going to put everything together. I had to go and fill up my container here. Alright, so whenever you make the yeast, let's start out with, you're going to need 2 cups of water. You need 2/3 cups of white sugar. And then you need 1.5 tablespoons of dry active yeast. That's what's in these 2 bowls. To make the other, it says mix oil and salt into the yeast. Mix in flour 1 cup at a time. Technically, you're supposed to do these in bigger bowls. I didn't do that. I usually just kind of pour them into each bowl and then I go from there. So let's start with this one. We're going to let that one, because I'm going to do 2 batches, I'm going to let that one keep sitting there for just a minute. So right now we're going to get our oil, which is 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I thought I had all my measures. Okay, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. And you're going to mix that right in. So 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. And then you're going to need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So we're going to mix this in here. And then 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So here's 1. Don't. Hush. And I use Himalayan salt, guys. You can use regular salt if you want to. Where's my, oh, this one's the half. All right. All right, so we have that all in there. I'm going to go ahead and do a little, I'm going to go ahead and do a little mix here. And it says that you need to add 1 cup at a time. And I've come to learn that that is very true because I have messed up plenty, trust me. Listen here, tiny dog, you need to go. So 1 cup at a time and mix, 1 cup at a time and mix. All right, here's 1 cup, and then we're going to mix. And then we'll do another cup, and then we'll mix, so that's 1. This is 2, mix again. So we'll do 3. Okay, that's 3 cups. Okay, we're getting there. 4. Shh. Rocky, be quiet. Okay, this is 4 cups. I'll do 1 more. We'll do 5. And then the 6th one, I do half in the bowl, and then I do half on the counter. And this is whenever I start changing to a different spatula, because it starts getting stuck in the whisk. So I'm going to grab a spatula. Actually, I'm going to put that there. Okay, so this is 5, right? Mix, mix, mix. And you can mix this with your hand if you would like. You could probably also do this in a stand mixer. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. I've never done it in a stand mixer. Rocky, it's just me, child. So, you're going to add half. I add half. Like just half to here. And then the other half, when I pour it out and we start mixing, I add it in then. I hope that y'all can see me doing this. A little bit out. Okay, so. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this out on the counter. And we're just going to fold in. I'm going to add that other part of the flour here in just a minute, because it's kind of sticky and it needs it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add the other half. We're going to call it, that was the other half. And this makes a big mess. There's no way to prevent it, unless if you're super, super, I guess, professional at this. But either way, you're still going to make a mess. Mix all this flour in. And this right here makes 2 loaves. I can get 2 loaves out of this. So today I'll be making 4 loaves. Just want to mix it in, make sure you get all your flour. Now knead it real good. Now this you're going to sit in a bowl. Once you have it all good and kneaded and the way you like it, nice and smooth on the top, you're actually going to sit it in a bowl, and you're going to cover it with a damp cloth, and it's going to sit for, how long was it supposed to sit for? An hour. It's supposed to sit for an hour until it rises. So that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. We're going to actually put some oil down in that bowl. I'll get a different one. And then get our damp cloth. So we're going to put our oil down in here and mix it around on the bowl. You don't need a whole lot. And we're going to take this and we're going to plop it down in here. Now I'm going to get my cloth. I'm going to wet it with some cool water, and I'm going to sit it in the microwave. Alright, so we're going to cover it real good. And I'm going to plop this in the microwave for about an hour. You can put it somewhere warm. You can probably, on a hot summer day, you can put it outside. And I'm going to put my timer for 1 hour. And then we'll start doing our second one. So we're going to do the second one right on in this bowl right here. Okay, we need to add this in here. Okay, and then we need to add our 1/4 cup of oil. And that's olive oil. And then 1½ teaspoons of salt. And y'all would think, well, how come you're if you make this so much, how come you're reading a paper? I can't remember stuff. I still look at my cookie. Whenever I make cookies, I still look at my recipe for my cookies. Okay, there it is. Here we go. Okay, we're going to mix this in. And we're going to start adding our flour once again. So that's 1. Mix. 2. Mix again. 3. If you ain't making a mess, you ain't doing it right, y'all. Okay, we're gonna go to 4. Starting to get thickened up here. I'll add 5. Okay, that's 5. Probably swap over to the spatula. And I will link this this recipe if y'all want it down in the description box. That way y'all can have it or go back to it. It's real easy. It's a real easy recipe. I really like this one. It kind of gives your bread a sweet flavor too. I kind of like that. Okay, now we need number 6. I'm going to go ahead and get all of it out here, and then we'll half it that way. Okay, so I'm going to pour some of this on here. I'm going to mix it. Okay, now we're going to pour it out on this counter here. I was going to say on the sink. So pour it out on the counter. Start folding. I'm going to add that part of that 6th cup in there. And I forgot to oil me up another bowl. That's all right. Just want to mix it all good and in. Mix your flour in real good. Okay. I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna oil a bowl like I did a bowl earlier. And then we're going to cover it with another cloth. Get that dough off my hands. Okay, so I'm going to oil this one. Just a little bit, you don't need a lot. Just to keep it from sticking to the bowl whenever you go to pull it out the second time. I'm going to plop that in there. Get my second towel. Wet it with some cool water. And I think both of them bowls fit in my microwave. I think they both do. We'll have to find out, I guess. And then you're going to cover it for about an hour also. Probably shouldn't have started that thing. That's okay. The timer just yet. That's alright. I can go back and add time. Rocky, that's enough now. Alright, so I restarted my time. It ain't going to hurt it. You're going to let that sit for an hour, and whenever it's doubled in size, you're going to come back. And whenever that's happened, I will bring y'all back, and we will do the splitting and then the baking part, guys. Okay guys, so we are back, and this is what it looks like. Mine's doubled in its size. I'm going to wash my hands right quick because I was outside picking some tomatoes earlier and water. I'm trying to get some watering done. Wash my hands real good. So on this next step, we're actually going to flour the counter a little bit. And we're going to separate those into two different... If I can find my little thingamajigger. That's interesting. I wonder if it's over here with my bread stuff. Hang on one second. I'm trying to find my dough splitter here. Well, I guess we'll use this one. I have a plastic one of these, but I've never used this one, so we'll use this one. Brand new. Why not? Alright, so we're going to maybe some homemade sweet tea, some sun tea. If you ain't never had sun tea before, y'all gotta try it. It's good stuff. Love me some sun tea. Now, I have my pans here. These are actually Pioneer Woman pans that I found at Walmart. These are the only pans that I found besides my cast iron pan that doesn't stick. And what you want to do now is you're going to actually add a little bit of oil in the base of your pans. Just a little bit, don't need a lot, because you're going to spread it all around. Just a little bit on each one. You'll take your little brush here and make sure you get it good and coated all the way around. That way there's no sticking going to happen. I like these pans from the Pioneer Woman pans. They're really neat pans. Like I say, it's the only ones that I've found so far, and I've gone through quite a bit that stick. So these don't stick, which is a good thing. And they're fairly cheap. You can get them at Walmart. Alright, since we have those ready, I'm going to push this over here. And you're going to roll this out onto your counting. Well, first you're going to punch it down. You're supposed to punch it down, and then you're going to roll it out. What's that dog doing? Oh, she's chewing on something. And then you're going to fold. Fold, fold, fold. So I fold mine for just a little while. I don't fold it for a whole long time. Okay. And then you're going to take your spatula or whatever you're going to cut it with. This is a bread cutter. And you're going to cut this in half. And then what you're going to do now is you're going to actually shape your dough. Make sure y'all can see that. Yes, okay. So y'all should be able to see this. So you're going to shape your dough. I just kind of take mine and kind of spread it out. Sometimes this does good, sometimes it doesn't. No, bread ain't got to be perfect. You're just going to eat it. So I flip mine a couple of times. Kind of just spread it out here. And then when I think I've got it good and spread out the way I want it. Okay, I'm actually going to oil my hands up a little. Oh, that was too much. I'm going to oil my hands up a little bit. That way it doesn't stick to me. So, and then you're going to take one end and you're going to roll it. And you'll roll it again. And you'll roll it. And roll it again until you get to the end. Okay? And then this end, a lot of people will take it and do the dough tuck. Let me tell you something. I don't have to do the dough tuck. I just tuck the ends. Tuck the more ends. Make sure everything is good. And we flop it in a pan. And if I see that it's still not kind of tucked under, I'll still tuck it a little bit more underneath. And that's how you got your bread dough. So we're going to flour this a little bit more. You two better not start fighting underneath my feet. Hey, go on. No fighting underneath my feet, thank you. So we're going to stretch this one out like we did the other one. And whenever you, after you get all your bread in your pans, you're going to cover them again. Sit them in a warm place. You're going to cover them again, and they're going to sit for 30 minutes or until they've risen, not above this, just to like the edge of it. Now, typically my recipe says for 30 minutes. My house is cooler, so it's I leave it for maybe about a good hour. That's how long mine usually takes. And that's with me having it in the microwave. Okay. Ow, stop biting me. You're going to tuck it and then tuck it. She has really sharp teeth because she's a puppy. She likes to bite everything. And then you're going to take it and put it in your pan. Like I say, I always try to tuck in my ends. That way they don't pop open. And I don't scour mine. A lot of people scour theirs like on the top. I don't do mine that way. I've never needed a reason to. You're going to take this same cloth that you had for the other time. And you're going to, well actually this time you don't cover it. You don't have to cover it this time. You just pop it in either your oven or your microwave. I'm going to do mine in my microwave, but I think I can only get 3 of them in there. And then you're going to let it rise again for 30 minutes to an hour. Just as long as, like I said, just as long as it's not past this, it's not overflowing. Just kind of right up to here, and then you'll stick it in your oven for 30 minutes at 350 degrees. Make sure that's right. Yeah, 350 degrees, and it's for 30 minutes. Let's do this second one here. Punch it down. Get all air bubbles out, I guess. And roll it out onto your counter. Bread is so fun to make. I like making bread. To me, it's really fun to do. Okay, and then we're going to take this and we're going to cut it in half like we did the other one. And start spreading it out here. This probably needs a little bit of flour on the counter here. There we go. Makes it easier to work with. It doesn't start sticking to the counter. Okay. Now I'm going to take it. Okay, kind of pinch the sides here. I'm going to take it and put it in your pan. Just going to work it, just work it out. Okay. Bring this pan over here. All right, and roll it again. What I do is I pinch this side. So I pinch this, and then I pinch the ends underneath. And put it in your pan. You're going to put these, like I said, you're going to put these in your microwave or your oven in a warm spot for about 30 minutes or until risen up to the edge. I wouldn't go over that because then you have tall bread like this. Once we get these done for our 30 minutes to an hour, mine usually take about an hour or so. And whenever they're done, I'll bring y'all back and we'll pop them in the oven, and we'll put our butter on the top. Usually, whenever they come out of the oven, you can put butter on the top and it makes it that good golden brown color. So we'll see y'all back soon. Okay guys, we are on the countdown. I wanted to show y'all the bread in the oven, hopefully. I can get my... We have about 1 minute left for us to pull the bread out. It's been in there for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes is usually a pretty good time to take it out. It's done. I followed that recipe to a T, so I've never had one not be done or anything. So we got about 30 minutes. I got my butter here. It's some Amish butter that I buy from the local Amish market. Or you can get it at like Brookshire's if you have a Brookshire's and you don't have an Amish market. It's called Amish Country Roll Butter. This is a salted one. You can get it unsalted. Usually whenever I go, they don't have it. I'm sure it sells out quickly. The thingy's broke on that side. We're on the countdown now. 9 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're finished. And sadly, I just seen a spider on the stove. Guess he wants some bread too. So we're gonna pull them out nice golden brown on the top. That's how we want it. And you don't have to put butter on there if you don't want to. If you don't want to put butter on there, you don't have to put butter on there. Close this, turn off the timer, and there we go. We got us some sandwich bread, y'all. This one I didn't let completely rise to the rim. Ow, that was hot. That's what our bread's gonna look like. I am actually going to take this and butter the top. I guess I could have took them out of the pans first, but man, they're hot. That's awfully hot. Let's see if I can get it out without it falling. Here we go. So this one I didn't actually let rise all the way to the top. I should have left it a little longer, so it's a little smaller. But that's okay. Still, bread is bread. So the higher you let them rise, the thicker your sandwich is going to be. Your pieces are going to be. So, see, I burned myself again. that was hot because I put that butter on there. There you have it, guys. Nice and squishy. It is nice and squishy bread. We're going to sit this here and let it finish. Probably pop that smaller one in the freezer. That's okay. But the bread is really soft, guys, so definitely let these sit here. Now, I like a lot of butter. Aren't they gorgeous? That's some good looking bread. And it's gonna taste great. If y'all have enjoyed this video, guys, like and subscribe. Y'all know, hit the notification button. Hopefully we can get to doing some more videos, like in the kitchen videos. I do a lot of outdoor videos. I want to try to get more in kitchen videos. If there's something y'all might like me see, because I do cookies and banana bread. I think I have a video on my banana bread, so we make cookies and stuff from scratch also. That's our bread, guys. Let it cool, then you cut it and you eat it with some good food. We'll catch y'all next time. See you later.